Since I was very young, I've always loved looking at maps. Maps spark curiosity in me, and when I feel curious, I tend to feel more content. The reason I think I love maps so much is because I've always loved exploring and seeing new places, especially the outdoors and new landscapes. In my adult years, I've really started to enjoy learning more about the history and culture different places possess. I guess this love I have for maps and exploring comes from curiosity. With that being said, there's one place on the island that I live on that I've always been significantly curious about, and that's
Bamfield. I'm going to Bamfield.
Just made a quick stop here at Canadian Tire to get myself a new air horn. Some of you watching are probably going, why this tiny, unassuming, quiet harbor village? Well, for me, it's fascinating that it's on the west coast of Vancouver Island, very close geographically to Vancouver Island's most touristy destination, which we all know is Tofino. I would assume this would mean nice beaches, great surf, and open ocean sunsets. But the one thing I'm most curious to see is this one absolutely pristine waterfall kind of in the Bamfield area. So with me being a waterfall buff and all, I'm acting on my curiosity and heading to Bamfield.
Such a long drive. Beautiful drive, but definitely a long one. Almost there though. Alright, I'm here, Pachena Bay. I've always wanted to check this out. This is so cool being here. Such a massive bay. I'm just loving how slow moving these waves are. There's something that feels spiritual about this place. So one thing I've learned since being here from reading as well as talking to a few people is that Pachena Bay here used to be the location of a First Nations village that was actually destroyed by a tsunami in 1700. This tsunami was caused by an earthquake that happened on the 26th of January in 1700. It's pretty crazy to think that this is one of the biggest earthquakes ever recorded on the Cascadia subduction zone. So sad that, you know, a whole village of people were wiped out, just gone, no more. It makes me realize just how fragile life can be. So the meaning of the word Pacheena is actually sea foam or foam on the rocks to the indigenous people. It's been fascinating learning even just a little bit about the indigenous people that have taken care of this land for, you know, thousands of years, the Huayot people. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's funny how I've learned all this already from being curious. I believe that curiosity affects our social world so much more than we even know. Being curious about other people and other cultures can help us to understand more about them. This understanding of other people and other cultures can improve our relationships on every level, and having our relationships with and perspectives of other people get healthier can only create a stronger connection between our own inner and outer worlds, I feel. While this is amazing for everybody, I feel like this could really substantially help anybody who struggles with harboring a lot of hate or lack of discernment for other people, whether it be, you know, one individual or a group of people, a whole culture. I don't think that people realize how much carrying a ton of hate and resentment actually just hurts them. It's so sad. Coming out to these places too, it's hard to feel hateful out here. It's hard to feel resentment in places like this.
Good morning from Bamfield. I'm dealing with a bit of a nightmare right now. I ended up going to get some gas this morning from the one gas bar in town right once it opened, and the debit machine there wasn't working, so I came to the one market that Bamfield has to see if I could pull some cash out of the ATM or maybe get cash back, and apparently debit machines and Interact all over the country are not working right now. It's a terrible time to be in a place like Bamfield and not have cash, so I'm learning a lesson going on these trips. Should probably always bring cash with you just in case.
gas. Luckily enough, the lady who works at the market here in Bamfield trusted me, and she gave me her sister's email address and just gave me $30 at the register so I could pay for the gas, and I'm good to go now. I just have to email transfer her when I get back up. This kind of goes to show how good humanity can be. If there's good people out there, they do these kind of things. Thank goodness for Judy.
All right, so now that I've got my gas, what a fiasco this morning. As if the one day I decided to go to a tiny village on Vancouver Island, all of the Interact and debit machines are down. Such a frustrating experience, but very thankful for Judy and spotting me that cash to pay for my gas. A little about Bamfield. So Bamfield was originally inhabited by the Huayat people, but they've since moved down to a little town called Anakla where they still reside. Bamfield is inhabited more so by marine biologists and fishermen these days. I'd say mostly marine biologists. There's one restaurant attached to the convenience store, which is called The Market. There's the gas bar, which is this thing right here. There's a couple of lodges, a couple places you can stay, and a ton of marinas. That is essentially the extent of Bamfield. Like I say, it's not a whole lot, but I find it cool. I find it really neat being out here right now. For some reason, it has this really under-touched feeling. It feels so intimate for some reason being in Bamfield, and it's so quiet. That's one of the things I love about it out here, is it's so peaceful and so quiet. I just feel relaxed being out here. Bamfield was named after the first government agent that came to this area. His name was William Eddie Banfield, and it's kind of hilarious how it ended up being called Bamfield. Speculation says that it was either a postal mistake or the First Nations people of the area just kept pronouncing it Bamfield instead of Banfield, and it just stuck. Fun facts. So if I'm correct, behind me here is West Bamfield, and to get there you actually would have to take a water taxi. There's some cool beaches over there. I think people actually live over there as well. There's a resort. It's probably going to be an adventure for another time, as I have a bit of an itinerary plan, but pretty cool that it's kind of its own little village over there on the other side of the ocean.
Alright, I think it's time to finally leave Bamfield now. So far since I've been out here, I've actually managed to learn quite a bit about this place and Pachena Bay, the Huayat people. I give all the credit to that to curiosity. There's actually a neurological study that has shown that curiosity actually makes our brains more receptive to learning, which is pretty cool. It actually helps us to enjoy learning more as well. With that being said, I mean, I haven't really met too many people that don't want to know more or be smarter. I'm very thankful that Judy at the convenience store there gave me a coffee, because as we all know, coffee is important. I came back to Pachena Bay. I didn't get too much time there last night, and it looked really pretty, so I wanted to come see what it looked like in the day. Gonna go take a quick walk down there, explore that a bit, and then head on to Sarita Falls, which I'm super excited for. Sarita Falls is kind of a hidden gem waterfall paradise. Pachena Bay in this area I'm standing in right here is actually the start of the West Coast Trail, or the end of it depending on which way you do it. West Coast Trail is actually one of the more popular hikes on Vancouver Island. I think people average about 4 or 5 days to complete it. You get to see just amazing beaches, really cool waterfalls, some pretty big waterfalls on the beaches actually. Being the waterfall guy and all, it's one I do plan on doing at some point. I'm not sure when. It's definitely a pretty rugged trail, and I've heard of people getting injured and having to be airlifted out of it, so definitely want company for that one when I do it, but gotta go check out those waterfalls. There's one called Susiat Falls, I think it's pronounced Susiat anyways, that I am ecstatic to check out. I can't get over how peaceful this place is. These slow rolling waves, the nice sandy beach. Glad I came back here. I just feel so good right now. Speaking of feeling good, curious people tend to feel happier. Research has shown curiosity to be associated with higher levels of positive emotion, lower levels of anxiety, more satisfaction with life, and just overall greater psychological well-being. Getting to Sarita Falls is going to take a little longer now. I'm in a construction lineup. That's okay though. Finally on the go and driving through a dust cloud.
So I made it here to where Sarita Falls is supposed to be. Came down this sketchy road with dugouts and really sharp rocks. I'm surprised at what my vehicle can do. I'm pretty happy about that. Right here is actually a cliff. So I can't get down that way, and I can hear the waterfall over there. I think there's like 3 or 4 little waterfall drops. Over there is actually a different logging road, and to get over there, there was a gate. And I seem to have pretty bad luck with gates, especially when they say no access, so I didn't bother going that way. I came this way. Now I'm kind of bummed out because right there, it looks like it would be super easy to get down to the falls. What I'm gonna do is what I always do and put the drone up and then go from there. Maybe I'll try to find a way down after.
Coming back down this sketchy road now. I did find the waterfall, thank goodness. Not really sure how to get down there. I'm doing my best to try to figure out how to get down there. I think it's the other road that there's a gate. Maybe all the pictures and videos I saw of Sarita Falls were before there was a gate. I'm already pretty far away from where the waterfall is now, so. It's getting a little late in the day now. I don't have a whole lot of time left, but there is a trail right there. It looks like it goes down to the river. I'm gonna put the drone up, see if it looks like it's worth it. So just before I put the drone up here, a little bit about the Sarita River. It's actually one of the most important areas to the Huayat people. The Sarita River kind of served as safe passage for the Huayat people to get from the ocean to the upland area of the Huayat territory. It's known as the heart of the people to the Huayat. Super fascinating stuff. I don't know, I find this kind of stuff fascinating myself. I've read this all on plaques or just from talking to people, talking to locals. Such great conversations I've had with people out here. The people are so nice. Bamfield is really special. This whole area is really, really special place. I'm just gonna go down there. I'm just gonna go check this out. It's so bushwhacky. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my God, there's a second waterfall. There's 3 waterfalls. The one at the top was like so massive, but this is still super impressive. I'm still super stoked. What a day, what a trip. Quite a bushwhack down here for this, but so worth it. Curiosity has me hiking and walking quite a bit, so not a bad thing, you know. Yet another reason it's super healthy. So the name Sarita is actually derived from a Spanish explorer. The first Spanish explorer, I guess, to explore some of this area. All right, time to get out of here now. Goodbye, Sarita Falls. I've never been so happy to see my car. That is definitely a trek back up. I think I'm gonna make one more stop.
All right, last stop. One more place to check out before calling this trip done. Welcome to Sarita Lake. This place is so peaceful. Seems to be the theme of this trip is just, peaceful places that have this kind of spiritual energy to them. And speaking of spirituality, that's something I think that goes hand in hand with curiosity. I think that curiosity definitely lightens my spirit. I think as far as curiosity and spirituality goes, I would much rather respond with curiosity than shame or hate or anger any day. Curiosity reveals options to our behavior and our thoughts that we never even thought possible. I think that curiosity allows us to be more objective in our thinking, doing, and feeling. It can, shine a light on patterns and give a name to what we experience. It gives us the space to step back and study, to learn and ask questions. I think the biggest way that curiosity helps my spirit and my spiritual health is it gives me hope. Hello, dogger. Hello, dogger. Hello. Look at this guy. If you're curious about where I'm headed next, you should probably subscribe to my channel.